Hey everyone, it's 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗓𝗖𝗓 here. I'm a stage 3 back cancer survivor and a quantum health coach. And today I'm going to be talking about what to do when you feel like life is testing you. Now, we all have been there, right? When everything is coming our way and we're thinking like, why is everything happening at once? Why do I have to go through all of this? Why is this happening and that happening? I never expected this. And in my life, I have gone through many times that I felt like that. But after cancer, I really changed the way that I looked at situations like that. So I was diagnosed with cancer 4.5 years ago, and from that moment on, because that diagnosis was so daring, everything was so extreme, and I had to go through something that was so scary at the time and so life-changing, I realized that I needed to look at things that were thrown at me in a different way. When I call like life testing you, I'm calling about those moments when you feel like, why me? Why do I have to go through this? And although cancer was that moment, it was really for me a moment that I changed the way I thought about the whole thing. So since then, I have had many other situations that put me on that same spot, asking myself those same questions. But the difference is I started really looking at it in a different way. The first thing that I change about it is to stop going back to the victim mentality. Before cancer, I realized I had this full-on victim mentality. Although I was a very strong person, I had a very strong mindset, I would always fall into feeling sorry for myself. Why do I have to go through this? Why me? Why everything at once? After cancer, I would look at things in a completely different way. When life throw things at me now, I really focus on understanding, what do I need to learn from here? What it is the lesson that I need to go through? Why is life testing me potentially? Perhaps it's kind of the teacher, the situation is the teacher that I need to learn from, right? So I look at it in a completely different way, which is in an empowering way. This is not like the victim mentality left me feeling disempowering, like I couldn't do anything. This is a completely different feeling. I feel like empowered. There is something I can do here. I'm not feeling anymore like the poor me kind of thing. So the second thing that I do now when I'm presented with those situations, and I do believe that, life, it is going to always present us with situations that are unexpected, that we don't really think that perhaps we deserve that or that we should go through that, okay? But it's really changing our perspective in how we react to it, that it is the big difference. The second thing is I start focusing on what I can control. Now that's very simple and easy to think about it, but instead of allowing my thoughts to go down to the path of like, what about this now? What about that now? What about this now? What about that now? I keep focusing on the little things that I can control each day. From this moment on, this has changed, so now I'm going to focus on that. And keep focusing on the things that only I can control, as opposed to relying on, well, if this changed, something outside of me or a person outside of me, then, I will go back to feeling happy or feeling safe or feeling in control. Not like that. Not just, putting all my control in somebody else's or a situation or a future that I don't know of, but just really taking back control of the things that only I can do each day. And the third thing, which it is for me the hardest, but this year has been a massive proof of this learning curve for me, which is surrender. As a doer, as somebody that is constantly taking charge and taking responsibility, I'm always inclined to be doing things. This year I have really learned how to surrender. I have done A, and now I surrender the B. There is so much all of us can do in a 24/7, in 24 hours and 7 days a week. I am not going to be running myself to the ground again, because that led me to a cancer diagnosis. So for me, it was really important to learn how to surrender and to come into peace with what I can control. Okay, so in doing the things that I can control and surrender the rest. So really 3 things, when you feel like that life is testing you, that you are in a situation where you did not expect that you would be in. When everything comes at once, it's coming out of that victim mentality, taking control of the things that only you can do and surrender the rest. Hopefully this is helpful to you. If you feel like you are in that situation, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Share this message with anybody that might be in that situation as well, which is, sometimes it's so easy for us to feel alone when we are in that situation, like feeling, like nobody has ever been, in situations like this. So this always sheds some light at the end of the tunnel for that person. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.